All right, looks like we're live. All right, how's everybody out there? Thank you for joining us again. This is our market update we do every about every month now, I guess, or so. I'd say or so. It's our St. Patty's edition. Uh,
Yes,
as always, Mr. Mark McKenna here from Pat McKenna Realtors. How you doing today, Mark?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again, Jeff, and get everybody up to date on all this craziness that's happening out there.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say it is a little crazy. So why don't we give a couple seconds and we'll see if we can get some people to join on. I will. I'm going to put up on the screen real quick a banner. If anybody has any questions about the market, any questions at all, you can obviously look. You can put them here on Facebook, on YouTube, and they'll show them. We'll answer them. I'll also run a little number down here below. This is my team line. So if you guys got any questions, and you're not able to get them on Facebook, feel free to go ahead and text over any questions you have, whether it's, I don't know, whether it's about how to list a property in today's market or what kind of questions you have regarding the loan process or what Mark does with his process. Ask away. That's what we're here for. We want to help you guys make informed decisions and kind of guide you through the market and what's going on. So tell us, Mark, what's going on in your world?
Well, every week gets more intense than the prior. So we've actually had to change some systems in here to keep up with the volume, which we're going to implement next week. Just some offer portals because a lot of our properties are getting anywhere from 10 to 20 offers when the property's listed. So it's to make sure your sellers are informed and it's very transparent. We created a portal where all the offers will go into, which will automatically send it onto a spreadsheet. So it'll help me, because you get that many offers, they're all scattered throughout your email. You got to make sure everything's together. So you're comparing apples to apples. So looking forward to that. It's going to save us a lot of time. The process has become, hey, bring new inventory live on Thursday, let it show Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and go to best and final on Monday or Tuesday. So that's been typically what we've been seeing. Everything that we list typically is gone within 3 to 5 days.
Unbelievable.
We've just recently sold 5 or 6 properties down the shore. The one down the shore in Wildwood Crest that we sold it was up for $579, and we just wrapped it up for $90,000 over list price. We had 4 cash offers.
Wow, 90,000.
Yes, 90,000, and it was priced. It was the highest one when I priced it in the building, and it just went to a new level. So, one of the things I want to discuss today was, when you're a buyer in this market, you have to be a little bit more creative and stand out. I mean, it's, for example, we have some buyers out there who are offering, this is going to be interesting, offering to pay seller's closing costs.
Wow. Okay.
I just put one together where the buyers have offered to pay my seller's transfer tax, which was $2,900. Great. I always thought that was great because it helps. Instead of constantly worrying about the appraisal, it's more of a net number on the seller side. Sure. I had another one that the buyers offered $10,000 towards the seller's closing cost, commissions, whatever. And I just put one together down the shore for the buyer paid my full 3%. So I was like, all right, works for me. So they're all, and I think also when you do things like that, everybody does their nice letter, and that's some sellers really like that, others do not. But it shows some creativity, and I think your offer stands out a little bit more in the pile. So you just got to make sure that the agent who's presenting, some people just don't grasp it, but I think it's an awesome strategy, an awesome strategy. So,
I mean, if anything, right now, it's just thinking outside the box, right? I mean, that's
correct.
what it comes down to.
Correct. And you and I, that's why we have a good relationship,
Yep.
is because that's what we tend to do, and take things to a different level and constantly trying to improve and take it to another level. So I think that's great.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What I mean, I've heard some crazy numbers, and I know I've heard other people talking about it too. The amount of people still showing up. I'm seeing pictures on Facebook of people standing outside of houses for open houses. I mean, what's that like? I mean, are you even having them?
We did do a couple open houses this weekend.
Mhm.
It was a 2-hour open house, and we can't overlap. We had 25 different couples through
Wow.
on the one. The other one wasn't as busy. We had 15. 2 weekends ago, I brought 4 new listings to market, and we had over 200 showings on the weekend.
It's unbelievable.
So yeah. So with that being said, I think that with the demand is so strong.
Mhm.
There's right now there's no end in sight, and I think this market could really handle the absorption on a lot of inventory. I think would be no problem.
Right.
In some price points that I've gone out, because I'm a numbers guy, I always break everything down.
Yep.
There is a 2.5 day supply of inventory.
What price point's that? Just, I mean, I'm assuming it's the lower.
250 to 350. 2.5 day supply of inventory. Now, someone who's been selling real estate for a while,
Yeah.
I remember in the tough days, 2009, 10, 11,
Mhm.
we would have a 2-year supply of inventory. Now we have a 2-day supply of inventory. So, and I told this, we just got done our sales meeting, and I told my agents, I go, the level of intensity that you have to be at in this market. When I come running out the door at 8:00 in the morning, it's like I'm playing for the Super Bowl every day. And I'm running on the kickoff team, and just want that's how intense you have to be at every second, because house comes up, you got to be out there. You got to be adjust and move on the fly constantly.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, it's pretty intense.
You mentioned something earlier about a lot of cash offers, and on some of these deals. Are you seeing those cash offers even on those price points of that 250 to 350, where you're saying there's 2.5 days?
A little bit sometimes, but most of the people are strong 20% down, 10% down. With some extra cash.
Sure.
Unfortunately, a lot of the FHA and VA buyers are getting pushed out of the market right now.
Yep.
And we were talking about it, and one of my agents asked a question: When do you think this thing slows down? I go, I don't know that answer.
Yeah.
From the amount of people that are out there, it seems like it's got some legs to it.
Sure does.
And I said, when you start to see seller concessions being paid again, then that's when we're coming back to normal for a while. But and it's a national problem.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult for buyers, and it's very difficult for people who do a lot of buyer work, because they're working their tail off and they're not selling anything.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you think unclogs the inventory issue? What starts to allow that to happen? Is it the vaccine rollout? Is it people starting to feel more comfortable and wanting to move, or does that have nothing to do with it?
Well, I think the vaccine rollout is definitely going to help people, and I think seeing restaurants get back to normal capacities, and everyday life trying to be a little bit normal, even though we wear a mask everywhere we go, will help. But I think the foreclosure courts opening up soon, I think we'll put some more inventory into the market. I mean, we're on a 14-month backlog of foreclosure courts. So, I mean, God knows how big that's going to be.
Sure.
So I think that'll be, and you need to free up some. Our biggest objection now, is it used to be price and how much you charge me on commission. Now that no one even questions any of that because obviously we're very aggressive in everything we do.
Right.
Their concern is, where do I go?
Yeah.
Where do I go? And my comment is, well, last year I sold 280 houses and nobody lived in my basement. So what we do is when we sell your house, we like to give these people some extended settlement dates. I might put a date out there 120, 150 days out with the option for them to move it up. And then we go pound the pavement and work our tail off until we find your house. So that's a good way for a seller to have some comfort in the transaction. So.
Smart play. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's a good amount of time. I mean, you would think with that type of time frame, you should be able to find somebody their move up or their downsize or whatever the next move is.
Correct.
Are you seeing a lot of move up buyers right now, or are you seeing downsizing? What are you seeing?
It's mostly step up because rates are still, even though they bop up a little bit, they're still amazing.
Right.
What are you, like 3.25 approximately where you're at? I mean, so we get a lot of step up. You get a lot of people who are going to the shore. They're moving their shore house full time. I just had 4 of them that moved down the shore. So it's a combination. Some people are moving out of state, not a ton, but we're getting more. It's the first time I can't remember in how long in New Jersey, more people are moving into the state. So, and you have to remember that I've been saying this for years. South Jersey has been a bargain for years.
Right.
The quality of housing, the school systems, the general area, the proximity to the shore, New York and Philadelphia. So, and I think it's being exposed at how cheap everything is, and the values are going up.
Yeah, you've been saying that same commentary since we started this, back during COVID.
Actually, today's a year.
Yeah.
Today, March 16th. That's right. 1 year anniversary, because last year was the most boring St. Patty's Day ever, if I remember correctly. Right?
It's true, man. I remember. I remember it was. I remember actually. It was the Monday. I think I opened my pool knowing that we were going to be locked down for a while.
Right. But think about where we've come in a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, I mean, March 16th last year, I was in this office by myself, sucking my thumb, going, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?" And we're going to be in big trouble. And you couldn't even predict this in a million years.
Nah, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. What let's talk a little bit about it. Like, what kind of strategies? I mean, I know you mentioned some earlier, and in case people weren't on earlier, what kind of strategies do you have for both sides? Somebody who's looking to buy, somebody who's looking to sell right now. What are some thoughts or ideas? Obviously, like the one with the extended contract times, but what else do you think?
Well, some sellers, I have. Everybody's different. Some people want all the craziness. They want to push the price up and want 1 million people through their house.
Okay.
I had a listing I had the other day. She goes, "I don't want a sign. I don't want pictures. I don't want you tramping 1 million people through this house. I want you to bring one person through my house, and they're going to pay what I want for it." So we came to the price. That's what I did. Brought one person through. The lady started crying in the kitchen. "I want it." So there you go. It's yours. Here's where you got to pay. And so you have to listen to your client to see what they want and execute the plan. We still do the same process, make sure houses are ready, make sure everything's in good shape, present, because that's how we drive a ton of traffic online to our inventory. But I think probably the most important thing right now when you hire a real estate agent is how they negotiate. That's the important thing to do. They can't be overwhelmed with when you get 14, 15 off of that. Then you got to take the emotion out of the transaction and make sure you inform your client. Because I always tell them, the most money is not the best deal. You got to make the deal that's going to get you to the table. So that would be.
No, absolutely. What about you did mention we've mentioned a couple of times prices going over, and really having a lot of that happening almost on almost every deal I'm almost seeing. What are you seeing from the appraisal side? Is it become a problem for you? And then I can give you my feedback too, but I'd be interested to hear your take.
We've had a couple. It's some of the appraisals. Just I know when we're going to have a problem for the most part.
Right.
Some of the buyers will put a threshold number. For example, if a house is up at 300 and it gets bid up to 3.25, then they might say, I'll make up the difference of an appraisal anywhere between over 300,000, where the original list price was. So they might have to come out of pocket 18,000. If the appraisal comes in at 307.
Sure.
So I've had some situations where it's 20% down. It comes in light. We can't get it up. The seller will just buy out the MI, or the buyer will buy out the MI.
Yep.
It puts more money in everybody's pocket. So you got to be creative. You got to know what you're doing. And everybody, for the most part, has been working together.
Yeah.
The one thing that I see out there, which I'm not a fan of, the appraisal is just a dollar and cents thing.
Yeah.
People are waiving inspections.
Okay.
As a buyer's agent, I don't like that one bit. I actually, when some of my buyers bring that to me, and I say to them, okay, I just need you to put it in writing for me that I did not advise you to waive your home inspection. Send me an email accordingly, because that's 3 years down the road, getting drug in the court, and I can't stomach that. So
no, makes sense. I mean, you can still do it as is if you want, and still have a home inspection just to cover your own, right? I mean, there's nothing that precludes them from doing that. So why not?
You can, but some of these sellers are getting such attitude, they won't even let you in the house.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. No, you pay the fine. I'm like, no, you're not coming in. No, I can't measure. Can't do this. I'm like, oof.
Wow.
No, yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's unbelievable. What you mentioned earlier about the foreclosure courts opening back up. Have you heard the actual timing on that? It seems like every month it keeps getting pushed.
I thought it was April it was going to happen.
Okay.
I did not figure out what happened. Apparently, I was told that in the last bill that was passed with the 1.9 trillion, it pushed that back.
Again?
Okay. I'm not sure, so I don't want to. I have to read up on that and figure out. Someone said September, and I was like, "Oof,
that's tough."
Yeah.
Somebody said we got a comment. Somebody said the most money is not always the best deal. Thank you for mentioning that. So, T-cells by the seashore and more.
Okay. Yeah. Because everybody sees the big number.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you can put anything on a piece of paper.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's going to stick. I mean, I would tell you, the 3 that I put together this weekend, I didn't take the highest number.
Really?
Yeah, because you got to look through. The other thing too, I would tell these agents and for sellers, your agent has to really grill these people, because I caught the agents. She scanned me. She sent me an offer, and she sent me another offer too. They were putting multiple bids out.
Okay.
So I said, "Hey, do you have multiple bids?" Yeah. Why? Well, you sent it to me, so I saw it. But I'm like, you got to be careful that you don't put all you really shake these people down, so if you give them the deal, they're actually going to sign the contract. And I called this woman out. I go, "Hey, if I give you the deal, you got to tell me you're 100% committed, because I'll remember that." And we actually put the deal together. So
nice. That's good. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, there's just so much. It's funny too, because I have a specialty in doing renovation loans, and for whatever reason, I mean, I'll tell you, we are doing more of them now than I have in forever. It's just unbelievable. It's like they're coming out of the woodwork, and and it's random to me because I feel like with the inventory shortage, you have people that wouldn't be interested in taking on those deals, but yet we continue to get them, which is great. But people, I think a lot of it also has to do with people can't find exactly what they want.
Correct.
So they can use our reno loans to build what they want, which is helping too.
So in the way the market's moving, by the time they're done with the renovation,
yeah,
they'll probably have 5 to 10% more equity than they thought they were going to have.
Well, there's an interesting strategy, and I don't want to go through it just yet, that we were toying with one of my guys out in Southern California, and I'm going to bring it to you again here shortly on another one of these updates within our next one. And it involves using those renos to avoid appraisal issues by adding on additional space. So there's some creative ways to consider doing something like that. So there's just like you, we all got to think outside the box. I mean, I'm getting from different agents that we work with. And we're creating pre-approval letters for the same property for 3 or 4 different agents.
Right. There was a property, we did not have it listed, but it was in Cherry Hills like 2 weekends ago.
I think
we got an email. It said, thank you for your offer. You were one of 70 offers submitted on the property. If you don't hear from us in 24 hours, you did not get the property. 70 offers. I was like, wow.
At least they took the time to send the email.
Well, that's what you have to do. That's why your systems have to be good. To make sure you don't have people screaming at you all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm trying to think like what else is important for people to know right now. I mean, obviously, we can tell you that rates have obviously ticked up. So, I heard an interesting thing. I thought that was going to kind of cool down the market a little bit, but actually it was one of your guys, Jeff, who actually said to me, no, actually, I think it's the other way. He said, I think you're gonna see it's gonna make people move faster, and they're gonna want to buy more because they want to get off the fence. So
they don't want to see another rate hike. Exactly. They can get out and buy. I think that definitely is the case. I think one of the things that I still have some buyers who the property will come up, we'll send it to them right away. They'll call us 3 days later. Hey, I want to go see that. I'm like, whoa, you're going. You have to be alert and ready to go. You'll make sure, because if you don't schedule day one when it comes up, there's a good chance you're not even able to get in because it fills up. And when I go on some of these properties, everything's blacked out because they might have 60 showings for the weekend already, and they don't allow any more. I tell all my sellers, I go, here's the trick. When I go put it in Thursday, we'll start showing Friday afternoon. Friday, you get in the car, you drive to the shore for the weekend, go stay in Cape May or go to Atlantic City and come back Sunday. We'll talk, and then we'll figure out which deal we're going to go with. And they're like, really? I'm like, you're going to be out of your house all weekend.
Yeah. So,
and it's actually worked well.
It's good. It's unbelievable. It's just crazy to me that everything moves so quickly, and it's just, what are you seeing it? Are you seeing people moving, let's say, more south where there might be more land and kind of being open to different towns versus the ones that we normally see?
I think it's the surprising thing is everything is busy in every price range.
Yeah.
It gets a little softer. I mean, over like 1.5 million. But that's a big range in South Jersey. You don't have a lot of that higher end over 1.5. Right. I'm really excited. I have about 25 new ones coming in the next month.
Nice.
As of now, and all great inventory, and I don't see any of those price points that I have that are going to sit around whatsoever. So, and again, the two things, when I start to see my inventory active get back up in that over 20 actives, then you see things are slowing up a little bit, but we're still running. I mean, they used to carry 35 to 50 actives. I'm running between 2 and 8.
Wow.
So, yeah.
It's nuts. It really is. It's good. Well, I mean, listen, it's just, like you said, who would have thought it when we started this a year ago, where the market would be, and it's amazing to see it.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and we didn't have any of this preempted questions before. So, and I'll try and answer the same question. What do you think you've done better than anybody else over the last year? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. It's a great question. I mean, I've just been trying. I kind of do the same things I've always tried to do, which is just try to always innovate and come up with new ideas to try to grow. And I think, for us, the thing that we did best was keeping our eye on the prize, which was our realtor partners and our clients who are doing purchases. I mean, if you look at our numbers, we're basically 80 to 85% purchase business. So it's been a great, a thing to have that, refinance bucket available to us and be able to get some extra business out of it. But I think making sure that we've continued to service the partners that we work with is probably our biggest strength and thing that we've done the best over the last year, even through all this craziness, always being there to pick up the phone, always being there to jump on a deal right away. I think that, and also the fact that we never changed any guidelines. It allowed us to be able to pick up market share and help people when others couldn't do it. So I think that's where we excelled during this this crazy period of time.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I think the one thing for us, trying to streamline the process, through COVID, a lot of, the sellers have their world's different. I mean, the technology has helped us, the Zoom calls and FaceTiming and, sellers not going to closing. And we've been doing that for 2 years prior. So it didn't really change much for us. Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of agents struggle with not being part of that process. But if your back office is real strong, mm-hmm. it doesn't really matter. It keeps going. So I think that was, and I thought like always, we just didn't stop working. I mean, we just kept grinding away, and we had to be very safe and cautious, through the time period, even though we did have 2 COVID runs through the office. But everybody kept plugging, doing their thing. So
everybody was maintained pretty good health overall for an entire year period.
Correct. I mean, like yourself, when you have great people that work for you, it makes your job more enjoyable and a much more profitable situation. But all good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, it sounds like you got some inventory coming. So if anybody is, I heard 25 new properties. So you know who to call. We'll throw his contact number up there if you don't already have it. Make sure you reach out to him because I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of people wanting to know what you got.
We have a nice range of stuff too, from 200,000. I got to 1.4. A lot of that 350 to 500 stuff coming up. So it's exciting. It's exciting. So
that's all.
Keep on grinding.
Yeah, it's all we can do, right? Exactly. Well, we're just about at the 30-minute mark, so we'll get this thing wrapped up. But I know there's no St. Patty's Day parties happening, but anything special planned for St. Patty's?
Well, my daughter was born on St. Patty's Day, so tomorrow's her 18th birthday.
Nice.
So we'll have a little birthday party for Ashley and have a good time. And I'm not the crazy 35, 40-year-old I used to be. So I'll have a couple cocktails and go to bed.
I feel you. Same here. Well, for everybody out there who's taking the time to watch this, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll try to always do these at least once a month. Let you guys know what's going on with the local market, and if you ever have any questions, reach out. Let's see. I'll say one last comment. Somebody said, "Tell me first." Apparently, that must be somebody for those 25.
All right. Well, just send me a message, man. I'll tell you what do you need, and I'll tell you if I got any good stuff coming up.
There you go. But thanks again to everybody, and thanks to you, Mark, as always, for jumping on these. I think it's great information for everybody. And if you guys need anything at all, feel free to reach out. And happy St. Patty's Day.
All right. Thanks for having me, Jeff. Appreciate it. Enjoy it.
All right, man. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.